What programs do you think could win a national championship in the 2025 season? First one is Clemson. If you do not follow me on Twitter, if you don't follow any of my socials, Clemson is my number one team going into this season. And that's for a couple of reasons. I think one of the trends that we have seen with the college football playoff is when we get to the NFL draft, the team that has the most players drafted ends up winning the national championship. It's been pretty consistent. Now, I know it could be a flawed logic of, well, they're going to have the most eyes on them. They're going to be in the biggest game. They're going to have more opportunities than most teams to get that many players. But I also think there's some merit to it. And when you go look at Clemson, do they match up with the depth of a Texas, the depth of an Alabama, even maybe an Ohio State? Probably not, because Clemson doesn't lean into the portal as much as they probably should. But this year's a little bit different because somehow, some way, Dabo Swinney has gotten some really talented players from the portal this year that just kicks their ceiling a little bit higher than usual. Alabama is a team that has just risen up my rankings so much during the offseason, especially as we've gotten closer to the start of the season. As you look for a hole on this roster or a potential weakness, you come to the realization that they have so much talent there that it's hard for me not to buy in for Alabama to be a national title contender to win the whole thing. I have them as my number 2 in the upcoming preseason top 25. Another team I want to mention is Penn State. I think Penn State, pretty straightforward. You're bringing back 2 dynamic running backs, Kretschman Allen, Nick Singleton, Drew Aller. The question for them is the wide receivers. If Penn State can get production out of the wide receiver room, they're a definitive national championship contender. There's no way around it. You can point to Drew Aller, but I just think he has needed so much support with these wide receivers. Early returns from fall camp, it looks like, and it sounds like it's going to work out potentially. They have a favorable schedule once again in the Big Ten. I mean, the notion that James Franklin, it's pretty simple. When they're favored, he's going to win the game. When they're not favored, that's where it gets real risky. That's where you get real concerned. The defense, I'm not going to have any problems. Yeah, they're losing guys like Abdul Carter, some safeties, Kevin Winston. I think they're going to be pretty damn good on the defensive side of the ball, especially now that they have Jim Knowles, a national championship winning defensive coordinator. Texas, straightforward. If Arch Manning works like we think he's going to work, national championship contender, Texas. They're the preseason number 1 by the AP and coaches poll. I have questions about their offensive line, but it's easy to buy into Texas. It's easy to buy into the fact that they have one of the most talented rosters. In terms of talent acquisition, I think they're second to no one.